Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the most powerful decision you can make is to walk away from the noise, from the crowd, from the comfort zone where dreams quietly die. Most people choose to stay where it feels safe, where nothing changes and nothing grows. But you were not born to fit in, you were born to stand out. It's easy to follow the 97% who choose excuses over effort, who fear failure more than they desire success. But remember, the world doesn't change because of the crowd. It changes because of the few who dare to be different. Walk away from the life that tells you to settle. Walk towards the life that asks you to rise. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, you will be alone at times. But every step you take away from average is a step closer to your true self. Be brave enough to walk alone until others follow your light. Don't follow the crowd, lead yourself first. It's natural to want to belong. Since childhood, we are taught to stay with the group, to not be different, to not cause trouble. And slowly, without realizing, we start depending on others to show us the way. We wait for someone to make the first move. We look around to see what everyone else is doing, and we copy them because it feels safe, it feels accepted. But in that safety, we often lose our voice. We silence our own desires, our own thoughts, our own dreams, just to fit in with people who may not even know who they are themselves. That is the danger of following the crowd. Most people don't know where they are going. They wake up, go to work, complain, come home, and repeat the same thing again the next day. They survive, but they don't live. They exist, but they don't feel alive. And if you follow them, you will end up exactly where they are, in a life that's just going in circles. A life that looks full on the outside, but feels empty on the inside. That's why the first step towards true change is learning to lead yourself. Leading yourself means making decisions not based on fear, but based on vision. It means listening to that small voice inside you, even when the world outside is shouting something else. It's about knowing what matters to you and daring to walk in that direction, even if no one else is walking with you. It's not about arrogance, it's about awareness. When you know yourself, your values, your goals, your worth, you stop looking to others for direction. You start becoming your own compass. It's not easy. In fact, it's one of the hardest things to do, because leading yourself requires courage. It requires responsibility. You can't blame anyone else for your choices. You can't hide behind the crowd. You have to stand up, face the mirror, and say, "This is the path I choose." And sometimes you will make mistakes. Sometimes you will feel lost, but that's okay, because every step you take on your own path teaches you something. Every fall makes you stronger. Every silence you sit through deepens your understanding of who you are. The crowd may laugh at you. They may not understand. They may even walk away. But you have to ask yourself, what is more important? Being accepted by people who don't believe in your dreams, or being true to yourself even when it's uncomfortable? There comes a time in life when following others is no longer an option, because your heart starts asking for more than just routine. More than just surviving. It starts asking for purpose, for passion, for meaning. And you can't find that in the footsteps of others. You can only find it by taking your own. Leading yourself is also about trust, trusting that you have something inside you that's worth listening to, trusting that you are capable of finding your way, even if it's dark, even if you've never done it before. Because nobody else has lived your life. Nobody else has your mind, your heart, your story. So why should anyone else tell you what's best for you? The more you learn to trust yourself, the less you will need approval. And when that happens, a new kind of freedom begins. Average choices lead to average lives. Every decision we make shapes the life we live. It may not seem like it in the moment, but the small daily choices we make are quietly building the future we are walking into. Choosing to hit snooze instead of waking up early to work on your goals. choosing to scroll through your phone instead of reading something that expands your mind, choosing to avoid challenges instead of facing them. These choices might feel harmless, even normal. But when you keep choosing average, you keep living average, and average doesn't mean peaceful, it means unfulfilled, unnoticed, and unlived. Most people settle not because they want to, but because they get used to the routine. The same kind of days, the same kind of thinking, the same kind of actions. And with time, they forget that something greater is possible. They convince themselves that this is all there is. They stop dreaming, not because the dream is gone, but because they've stopped feeding it. When you make average choices, you silence the part of you that wants more. You tell your dreams, wait, and after enough waiting, they start to disappear. An average life may look fine from the outside, a steady job, a few smiles, a routine that keeps you busy, but inside, something always feels missing. Because we were never created just to survive. We were created to grow, to stretch, to become, and becoming requires more than average. It requires commitment, it requires energy, it requires choosing the hard thing, the brave thing, the uncomfortable thing, over and over again. And every time you do that, you step out of average and into the life that was meant for you. It's easy to say, I'll start tomorrow. It's easy to say, this is good enough. But deep down, you know when you are settling. You feel it in the way your heart aches when you see someone else living fully. You feel it in the quiet moments when you're alone, wondering if this is all your life is going to be. You feel it when you catch yourself daydreaming of a different path, one you've never dared to walk. That feeling is your reminder. A reminder that average was never your destiny. Greatness doesn't come from one big decision. It comes from hundreds of small decisions made consistently. It comes from choosing to stay focused when distractions are easier, from choosing to speak up when staying silent is safer, from choosing to try again when quitting feels like the simpler option. These are the choices that shape a powerful life, not dramatic, not loud, just intentional. And over time, those choices add up. They build momentum. They build character. They build a life that feels meaningful, not just from the outside, but deep within. There's nothing wrong with simple. There's nothing wrong with quiet, but there is something deeply wrong with ignoring your own potential. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to walk the same path, think the same thoughts, or settle for the same limits. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to chase more. But wanting more isn't enough. You have to choose it, and choosing it means letting go of comfort, excuses, and routine. It means choosing the path that may not have guarantees, but has growth. Every day is a chance to decide who you want to be, and it starts with your choices. Not just the big ones, but the quiet ones. What you listen to, who you spend time with, how you talk to yourself, what you prioritize. All of it matters. All of it counts. Because an average choice repeated daily becomes an average life lived slowly. But a bold choice, even a small one, can be the start of everything changing. Comfort is the enemy of growth. We often think that comfort is the goal, an easy life, no worries, no stress, everything stable and predictable. And while comfort can feel good in the moment, it can slowly turn into a silent trap. Because when life becomes too comfortable, we stop moving forward. We stop asking questions. We stop challenging ourselves. And without realizing it, we begin to shrink. Growth requires discomfort. It requires stretching beyond what feels easy. Just like a seed breaks through the soil, just like a baby learns to walk by falling again and again, progress is always uncomfortable. The problem is, we are told to chase comfort from a very young age. We are taught to avoid pain, to avoid risk, to take the safest route. We choose jobs not because they inspire us, but because they feel secure. We stay in relationships, not because they help us grow, but because they feel familiar. We stop learning new things, trying new paths, or expressing our dreams, just to stay in a zone that feels warm and familiar. But growth doesn't happen in that zone. Growth lives outside the lines of what's known. Every person who has ever changed their life had to face discomfort. They had to face fear, failure, rejection, and uncertainty. And still they kept going, because they knew that the pain of staying stuck was worse than the pain of change. When you choose growth over comfort, you choose to evolve. You choose to become more than you were yesterday. You start building strength, resilience, and clarity. But it only begins when you stop running from discomfort. There's a reason why challenges come into your life. They are not there to break you. They are there to show you what you're capable of. Discomfort is a teacher. It reveals your limits and then dares you to go beyond them. When you feel nervous about a new opportunity, that's growth calling. When you feel afraid to speak up, that's growth knocking. When you feel like quitting but choose to keep going, that's growth unfolding. And the more you face these uncomfortable moments, the more you realize they were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to reveal your power. Staying in comfort may protect you from failure, but it also protects you from success. You can't win big by playing small. You can't experience the full beauty of life by always choosing the easy way. The people who inspire us are not the ones who stayed safe. They are the ones who took the leap, who walked into the unknown, who embraced the discomfort, and found something greater on the other side. It's not that they didn't feel fear. They did. But they didn't let fear make the decision. Sometimes the most dangerous place to be is not rock bottom. It's a comfortable life that keeps you numb. Because in that numbness, you forget your dreams. You forget your fire. You forget what it feels like to truly live. And life is too short to live numb. You were not created to settle into a life that doesn't challenge you. You were created to grow, to stretch, to explore what's possible. That kind of life demands courage. It demands leaving behind the familiar. It demands letting go of comfort and walking into growth, even when it hurts, even when it's slow, even when no one else understands why you're doing it. Excuses build cages. Action breaks them. Every time we say, I can't, it's not the right time, or what if I fail? We are not just speaking words, we are laying bricks, bricks of limitation. Bricks of fear, bricks of doubt, and with each excuse we build a cage around our potential. A cage that may feel safe but slowly traps our growth, our dreams, and our courage. Excuses are easy. They come naturally. When something feels hard, we make excuses. When we are scared, we justify our inaction. But the truth is, these excuses become the very reasons we stay stuck. Most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it. We think we're being realistic. We think we're protecting ourselves, but deep down, we are running away from the uncomfortable truth that change requires effort. Growth requires risk. Success requires showing up even when it's hard. Excuses protect us from short-term discomfort, but cost us long-term progress. And the more we repeat them, the more they become our identity. We start to believe the lies we tell ourselves. We say, I'm just not confident, or I'm not lucky like others, and slowly those words turn into our reality. But inside each one of us, there is a fire, a voice that says, I was made for more. That voice gets quieter every time we make an excuse, and louder every time we take action. Action doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be honest. One step, one decision, one choice to do something instead of nothing. That's how you break the cage. By proving to yourself that you're not as weak as your excuses make you feel. That you are stronger than the limits you've accepted. Taking action feels uncomfortable because it forces us to face what we've been avoiding. It brings our fears into the light, but only when you face them can you start to move beyond them. Action is not the absence of fear, it is movement in spite of it. Every time you act, you loosen the grip of those invisible chains. You start to rebuild your confidence, your courage, and your belief in what's possible. No one changes their life by waiting for the perfect moment. They change it by taking one imperfect step, again and again. Excuses often sound logical. I don't have enough time. I don't have the right resources. I'm too tired. What if I fail? But behind each one is fear. Fear of being seen. Fear of judgment. Fear of not being good enough. And unless we choose to challenge those fears, they will quietly guide our choices, and those choices will shape our lives. If you want to know what kind of future you're building, just look at the excuses you're making today, because those excuses are writing your story in advance. There are people with less than you, doing more than you, not because they are lucky, but because they chose action over excuses. They chose to show up when they didn't feel ready. They chose to try, even when they were scared. And with each action, they grew. With each choice, they changed. And so can you. The difference between a life of regret and a life of purpose often comes down to this one thing: the courage to act, not once, but over and over again, even when it's messy, even when no one is clapping, even when the outcome is uncertain. The cages we live in are not made of steel, they are made of stories. Stories we tell ourselves about why we can't, why it's not for us, why we should wait. And the only way to change that story is to rewrite it with action. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the first step. The 97% seek approval, the 3% seek purpose. Most people live their lives trying to fit in. They change the way they speak, dress, think, and even dream, just to match what the world expects from them. They want to be liked. They want to be accepted, they want to feel included, and in the process, they slowly lose the essence of who they truly are. Approval becomes the goal, and purpose takes a back seat. Every decision starts revolving around one question: what will people think? But no matter how much approval you collect, it can never fill the emptiness that comes from ignoring your purpose. There's a constant pressure to conform. From childhood, we are taught to follow the rules, to stay within the lines, to do what everyone else is doing. And when we try to step out of that, we're often met with criticism or silence. So we shrink ourselves. We choose the safer path. We pretend to be someone we're not, because being different feels risky. It feels lonely. But in trying so hard to belong, we forget that we were never meant to blend in. We were meant to shine. Living for approval means constantly adjusting yourself based on other people's opinions. It means putting your worth in their hands. One compliment makes your day. One rejection ruins your week. You become a puppet to their preferences. You start hiding your dreams because they might sound too big. You stay quiet when your heart wants to speak. You settle when your soul wants to soar. And slowly you stop recognizing the person in the mirror. You may be surrounded by people, but you feel disconnected, because approval can bring attention, but it can't bring peace. Purpose, on the other hand, is not always loud. It doesn't always get claps. Sometimes it leads you to paths no one else understands. It asks you to be honest. It asks you to be brave. It asks you to follow your heart, even when others walk away. It's not about being perfect. It's about being true. True to what you believe in. True to what excites your spirit. True to what makes you feel alive. When you live with purpose, you stop chasing likes and start chasing meaning. The journey to purpose is not always comfortable. You might be misunderstood. You might be judged. You might feel alone. But the clarity and strength that come from living a life that is truly yours, those are priceless. When your choices are guided by purpose, not popularity, you start building a life that feels right even when no one else sees it. You stop needing applause to feel valid. You stop needing permission to move forward. You become grounded, not in the noise of the world, but in the quiet knowing of your soul. Approval is temporary. People change, opinions shift. The same people who praise you today might criticize you tomorrow, but purpose remains. It doesn't depend on who's watching. It doesn't disappear when you fail. It keeps whispering, even when no one else believes. And when you learn to follow that whisper, you begin to step into the 3%, the few who choose truth over trends, depth over image, and purpose over popularity. The 97% look around for answers. The 3% look within. The 97% wait for someone to tell them they're enough. The 3% already know they are. The 97% build their lives based on approval. The 3% build their lives based on intention. Not because it's easy, but because they know nothing great was ever created by playing small. They choose to live boldly, even if it means walking alone, because they're not here to impress the world. They're here to impact it. Your loneliness today is your strength tomorrow. There are seasons in life where you will feel alone, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. You will look around and realize no one truly understands what you're going through. The people you thought would support you might grow distant. The ones you trusted may not stand beside you, and the path you've chosen might seem invisible to others. In these moments, it's easy to feel like something is wrong, like being alone is a punishment. But loneliness is not always a sign of loss. Sometimes it's a sign of becoming. When you step away from the crowd to follow your truth, it often leads to silence, because not everyone is ready to walk the same road. Not everyone will see your vision. And that's okay. Growth is personal. Purpose is personal, and not everyone is meant to understand it. The quiet moments where it's just you and your thoughts are where clarity begins. It's where the noise fades and your inner voice starts to speak louder. You begin to ask deeper questions. Who am I? What do I truly want? What is my life meant to stand for? These answers rarely come in a room full of people. They come in solitude. In loneliness, you begin to build a relationship with yourself. You begin to learn how to comfort your own soul, how to encourage your own heart, and how to trust your own instincts. You no longer seek validation from outside. You stop measuring your worth based on who claps for you or who stays beside you. You start realizing that your strength doesn't depend on company, it depends on character. And this shift, though painful, is powerful, because once you've learned to stand alone, you'll never again fear being left behind. Many people fear loneliness so much that they stay in the wrong places, with the wrong people, in the wrong jobs, in the wrong lives, just to avoid feeling it. But that fear keeps them trapped. It keeps them from discovering who they are, when everything else is stripped away. When you allow yourself to walk through the loneliness instead of running from it, you begin to see it differently, not as a whole but as a space to heal, a space to think, a space to dream without interruption, a space to realign with your purpose. There's a certain resilience that is only born in isolation. When you have no one to lean on, you start leaning on your own strength, and you begin to discover just how much of it you actually have. You stop depending on motivation from others and start building discipline within yourself. You stop searching for someone to rescue you and start becoming your own savior. This is not about becoming hard, it's about becoming whole, because when you've walked through fire alone, you come out unshakable. People may misunderstand your silence, they may misinterpret your distance, but you don't need to explain your journey to anyone. Sometimes you need to disappear for a while to return stronger, clearer, and more grounded. And when you do return, you'll know the value of connection, not because you needed it to survive, but because you chose it from a place of fullness. Your loneliness taught you how to fill your own cup, and now you're no longer begging others to fill it for you. The greatest transformations often happen in seasons of loneliness, when the noise of the world fades and you're left with nothing but your own heartbeat, your own breath, your own truth. That's where real strength is born. That's where the foundation of your future is built. Quietly, silently, powerfully.
In the dark where shadows play, heartbeats echo in dismay. Lost the map to yesterday, words too sharp to ever say. Ripped jeans and broken dreams, skate parks and silent screams. Moonlight dances on our schemes. We fly so high on shattered wings. Tears fall like rain on a midnight show. We're bound by secrets only we know. Holding tight but letting go. This love is a reckless rodeo. We're